This is an emergency broadcast right now because the altcoins are crashing. They're crashing, going down by 25%. Bitcoin is crashing a little, back into the mid-90s again. So let's see what exactly is happening. Has Pablo warned about this situation before? At least I did one with Bitcoin. Let's go straight into it. Okay, let's have a look. Where is Bitcoin right now? Not so much panic yet we shouldn't have on Bitcoin so far, because look at this, right? It's still within this rising channel, and as I keep on saying, this blue trend line, right, that's the rising channel, should not be broken, right? I'd give it around 93.5 area, right? No closes below there, and again, we came very close, tested it, went back up. This is not a strong close. We really wanted to close like here, above 100K, to make this a long wick, long tail, to make this strong. Okay, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin today and then a few of your favorite altcoins to see where the market is at. So Bitcoin, as I said, needs to confirm above 100K, and it hasn't been able to do that. Look, only one day it closed above 100K, and the next day it does a little crash from 101 to 94, so 6% move, right? And right now, so once again, look, from my last video, this is the 90, let's call it 93.5. It needs basically to close above there, or else Bitcoin's in trouble. And you remember in my last video, I showed you guys a number of times when Bitcoin was trying to break the 1,000, right, psychological mark, and then the 10,000 psychological mark, and now the 100,000 psychological mark. What happens? Check it out in my last video. I showed you guys what happens. So basically, we're nowhere near confirmed yet. There can be a lot of games played around here, and that's been my message this whole time. Okay, but everyone's concerns the altcoins. What's happened to the altcoins? I'm probably going to be able to give you one simple answer that I answer all your queries. This is exactly what's happening to the altcoins, and that is basically they are at a crucial pullback point. So like basically when a few weeks ago or a few days ago, what was happening was there was so much strength. Remember, Bitcoin had that flash crash, which Pablo was the only one to predict. It had a flash crash from say 104K to 90K, right? Like a 14% move in 2 hours, right? But the altcoins barely moved. Altcoins were so strong, they barely moved. It looked like altcoin season. And Pablo was also calling for altcoin season like 3-4 weeks before that even happened. So what happened? Why isn't altcoins so strong this time? Just a 5% move in Bitcoin, and we see altcoins tank, shitting the bed, tank so hard. What happened to altcoins? Why is altcoins so weak this time? The answer is actually very, very simple. Okay? Actually, before I get onto the ETH chart, the way to answer why altcoins did what they did is have a look at this. Let's call it total 2, which is the total crypto market cap. Total crypto market cap, not counting Bitcoin. So all of the altcoins together. Look at this, right? Look at this. I should have been watching the chart to call this, but this was an obvious, right, resistance, kind of near a double top area. This will make a lot of bears call for double top, and it could happen, but right now I'm staying bullish. Basically, you have the all-time high here, right? And the altcoins basically broke the high in March, and now it's retesting this all-time high around this 1.6, 1.7 T area. We'll get a pullback, right? That's pretty natural. 1.36 T. It can go even lower to say 1.25-ish area, right? Because you have pivot top there. So these are the two supports. Let me just draw that in. So this is what we're seeing happening across the board. Okay, so that's not include Ethereum. So we go total 3. This is the total crypto market cap without even Ethereum. So that's, everything, including XRP, Solana, Doge, but not including Ethereum and Bitcoin. And once again, it hits this double top area, so it pulls back, right? And this was kind of the support area I had drawn earlier, around 982. It went slightly lower to the low 900s, then came back and closed above, which is kind of okay. Kind of a kind of a strong sign. Well, you really wanted to hold this level. If not, then next level I can see is probably around low 800s. We can get there in a wick, in like a wick down, and then go up. So look, this is basically, we have seen some face melting moves in XRP, HBAR, Solana, in a lot of these altcoins, and basically the market is reacting, and it's natural and healthy to have a pullback. So basically, you look at this. This was a massive move up, right, from 600, just below, say 580, and now 1.16, which is almost pretty much a 2x move, and then we pulled back. So what are the levels of pullback? Is this pullback move finished? Around this 980, 900s area, that's one probability, and another one is, as I said, if it was to pull back around, say, here, right, around, say, the 865 to 815 billion, these are measured in billions, to the mid to lower 800s, that's not out of the question either. That's only 50% of the ray trace. 50% of the ray trace of this big move up, right? And then boom, we go again. So, but obviously the most bullish situation is if we can make a bull flag right here, which is go sideways, 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 sideways like this. So just to show you guys, for people who don't understand what a bull flag is, kind of like this, right? Going sideways, 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 then boom, go up, right? So I'm gonna get to the altcoins right now. But first, let's answer the question of which exchange does Pablo use? Well, Pablo uses Bitunix, right? Basically, it's this non-KYC exchange, which is great if you understand the tax implications. Deposit 100 USDT, get $20 back, right? Deposit 500 and get $100 futures bonus, $1,200 futures bonus. Basically, just 20% bonus pack, right? So how do you find this link? Basically, it's in the link below, right? Just press the link below. That's if you're on YouTube. But if you're on other platforms, just go to my page. And here's my Stan Pablo He-Man link. Click on the Stan link. And it's basically the first thing that pops up because this is a big deal. And yet you can sign up. It's number one that pops up. You can sign up by yourself. But however, you only get this from the Pablo He-Man package. That's only signing up from the Pablo He-Man package. We come down here and here's the link, right? Up to $5,500 worth of benefits for newbies, 1.3 million global users. It's got very good liquidity, largest liquidity for a non-KYC exchange. So now it looks like the altcoins pullback is just that, basically a reaction to it hitting the double top, right? That's obviously a very sensitive area for all markets. When you have a previous top and now you hit that double top, then of course it's very likely to pull back. That's why we're seeing these 25% pullbacks in altcoins, which is quite normal, right? If Bitcoin doesn't crap itself, doesn't go into the 80s, then this kind of altcoin pullback, it's healthy. It's healthy. It's a chance to load up again by the dip, so to speak, right? But I wouldn't be so sure right now that Bitcoin isn't going to pull back into the 80s. This is something I shared in my Discord, warning everybody just 2 days ago. And have a look at this. So basically, actually just yesterday. So basically, this is the Bitcoin long-term holders net position change every 30 days. And when it does this, it means the long-term holders are basically selling Bitcoin, right? They've done it here, and this is happening again. So when they're selling Bitcoin, what happens is in January 2021, last bull run, for example, they sold Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin still went on from around, took a big dip, and then still doubled afterwards. And that was a big altcoin run as well. But it kind of signaled the top of Bitcoin as 64K just 3 months earlier, right? So that means a major top is coming. And even more accurate this time, in March, April this year, we had all that selling, and that marked the top of Bitcoin at 74K earlier this year. And then, of course, Bitcoin went to what I would call a bull flag, but altcoins got murdered, got completely trashed. If you're holding alts, you don't want to be holding through that. And then, big buying spurt just before the takeoff. Look at this big buying, right? Around these 50s, low 50s just before. So they're pretty accurate. They did a lot of buying around the 30K area as well. And then Bitcoin took off to 69K there. So they're doing a lot of selling here, a lot of selling. So this is either going to turn into this kind of signal, which means Bitcoin has already topped around 100K, which is what I've been warning about. I'm saying that's a very realistic possibility. Or what I can't be sure is that they could do a sharp pullback, right? But then keep on going and actually do a big move, right? And then, but means the top is in like about 3 months later or so. So I can't be 100% sure, but it's good to keep all these scenarios in mind. It's good to keep all these scenarios in mind because right now, if Bitcoin stays strong and can confirm above 100K, as I said previously, it's going to take like 5 days of closing, even 7 days of closing, weekly closes above 100K to convince folks like me that Bitcoin has now consolidated, confirmed above 100K. So far it hasn't. If it can do that, then altcoins can do these big pullbacks, and that's fine. It's a technical reaction, as I showed you guys, right? Altcoins just doing a technical reaction, so therefore Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin's not in trouble. But if Bitcoin's in trouble, so for example, let me show you guys. So as long as Bitcoin is not in trouble, so then altcoin is just doing a technical reaction at this key level. This would be like, Bitcoin trying to take out the 2021, bull run high, all-time high, which is, this is like 69K for Bitcoin. And remember, Bitcoin got up to 73K and then pulled back, right? And then consolidated for 7 months, and then went up again. Hopefully, if Bitcoin keeps on pumping up, then altcoins should not need to take long to break through here. So let's have a look at some of your favorite altcoins. For example, let's just pick one, like Phantom. Like I choose Phantom because the action here is worth studying. And you can apply this theory to other charts you see. So it has this big drop, right? But will it keep going up now? I would say not straight away because we need the close to be really high. We need this whole thing to be a long wick to the bottom, long tail, bottoming tail, or even here, close here. Then I can see prices going up. But it closed kind of halfway, even 60% down. And even below this key, support resistance key level. So basically now I think it's going to meander, like maybe check out what they call fill the wick, fill out some of this wick and then go up, right? If Bitcoin doesn't break down, if Bitcoin breaks down, then it goes to the next level, which is 0.89. So this is Phantom. And once again, you can see it's basically a fake out, like all the other coins. It's basically trying to take out its previous high, which was in March, do a fake out, right? And then boom, comes back again. So the thing to keep in mind is for most people who look at my charts and they say, especially the new guys, who they say, well, Pablo didn't tell me the buy levels and the sell levels, the buy levels and the sell levels. It's really, really simple, guys. I'll say it once and for all. It's really simple. I always tell my Discord guys, this is the support level. If this is a support level, it means prices, when it comes down here, it'll get supported around here, right? That means this is probably an entry or a buy level, right? Probably. Right, we work with probabilities, not certainty in trading. And then this is, I say, resistance level. So if price goes up to there, like what happened here is, that's a place to sell, to take profits or take partial profits, because you see, it hits that level, then boom, pulls back, right? These are key levels that usually price reacts to. So for example, here, support level, boom, right? Here was the entry, and then it blew straight past this first layer of resistance, but stopped at this layer of resistance, boom, came back. So this was what? $14 to pull back to 98 cents. So that's like a 16% pullback. But this is a very strong trending market, right? You may decide to sell 5%, 10%, 20%, or you might decide to hold, right? But the risk is if you decide to hold, boom, it can come back right here to $1 again. So that's the risk we take. And I'll try to get to more of these, your favorite altcoins. So Near, for example, Near is something we haven't covered before, but Near is something not to be sneezed at. Near, for example, is actually going to be one of the top, well, it already is the top AI coin. So there's TAL, TAO, BitTensor, and number 2 position I would say is Near. The simple reason is because the founder of Near is like the guy who is one of the 9 guys who wrote that seminal research paper on transformers, which is what they use, the structure they use in AI today, the big breakthrough. And the founder of Near, he was working at Google. When he was one of the 7 or 9 guys who actually wrote that paper. So this is super legit. Wall Street would love this. They're going to invest in Near. So Near, for example, showed a really, let me get on the daily chart, a really strong, chart reaction, because even we can see right now on the weekly, it's not much of a reaction, not much of a pullback, right? From just around $8 pulling back to this $7 area. Okay, let's see. Well, everything's crashing here. Everything's crashing, so even my laptop. Okay, so let's have a look at the action on Near coin, right? One of the top AI coins. Here we go. And basically, so this was, once again, a major resistance or support zone. See how it becomes a resistance zone here and a support zone here, right? Once you flip it. And once again, becomes a major resistance. We never made it above there in March. And here is trying to psych you out once again. Thinks we've made it above. Everyone's cheering. Pablo's warning. No, be careful, be careful, be careful. Boom, it goes down. And once again, we see this this major wick. Actually, I was only looking at an out-of-date weekly chart. On the daily chart, Near doesn't look so good, look, because it closed with only a short wick, right? It didn't close up here. And now basically they're going to go in and try to refill that wick. If I would have to try to pick a bottom, right? So this is the level, like around here, around this 580, 590 area, because you've had this pivot top here, right? Pivot top here, and there's a solid chance we get some sort of wick fill, may not exactly get there, and then boom, bounce and go up again. Of course, if it takes longer, then look at this red support trend line. It basically can do a bounce, something like if it takes longer, say we go into January, boom, like here, bounce off. This is an intersection. These tend to be strong supports. If this pullback goes to January, mid-January, so bouncing off the red line, bouncing off the blue line, around 10th, 7th of Jan, boom. And then boom, boom, along this rising trend line and go up. That's another scenario. So what this basically means is essentially it's an opportunity to buy for altcoins if Bitcoin remains strong, because right, we're trying to pick the support levels and then buy, and then hopefully it continues to go up. The reason why we do this is because it's based on the theory that hopefully this time Bitcoin hasn't dumped. So far, look, I'll say it again, just to be clear. The 25% dump we just saw yesterday in all the altcoins is purely due to a technical move in altcoins, right? It's not because bear market is coming. It's not because Bitcoin has crashed or whatever. It's even if Bitcoin kind of stayed strong yesterday. It was a 5% move. It's not a big deal for Bitcoin. Altcoins basically hit double top, right? Hit double top, and basically it's bound to have a big reaction. 25% pullback is normal for altcoins because it's done these face melting moves. XRP up 5x, HBAR's up 10x, and hey, XRP is like this $200 billion coin. It's not even small. So these are major moves, and people want to take profits. People set these double top areas to be natural resistance areas for profit taking, and that's completely understandable. So this was a move that doesn't tell us whether Bitcoin is strong or weak. If Bitcoin still stays strong, if Bitcoin can confirm above 100K and keep going, right, then this is definitely a buy the dip moment because the bull trend is not broken. But however, if like Pablo has been warning, I warn, Doesn't mean I'm 100% certain, but I'm the lone voice saying this could easily happen when everyone else saying Bitcoin's going 150K, 180K. If Bitcoin breaks down and doesn't hold and fake out at 100K, then the possibility, like I said in my past couple of videos, is that Bitcoin can go to like 82, 83K, low 80s area. In that case, the pullback with altcoins is going to be much larger, right? You buy the dip and then it dips again. You buy that dip and it dips again. Like that meme says, you keep on buying the dip that keeps on dipping. So if in that case, basically, I would look for a 50% retrace of this chart. So as I said before, of this chart, 50% retrace would get us to around this low 800s, right? Low 800s area, right? That's where the bigger pullback would be. Right? Can even wick to 700, right? Which would be ridiculous. Like, hopefully some buyers step in and say, this is so cheap, ridiculous. Like right? If you sell sell good coins like Solana that cheaply, then I'm gonna step in here and buy. Okay, follow Pablo for more updates, and I'll catch you guys next time.